Hi there, it is Kevin. Today is Halloween. So I thought I would do a special stream, various Halloween-esque, Halloweeny, whatever you want to call it. It's a themed stream. Uh be doing some readings from Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft. I am going to be showing some um, silent era horror movies. Obviously, they're not going to be super scary, but maybe a little. I am going to be sort of doing a trick or treat thing in Realm of the Mad God. I have plenty of gear that I'm willing to hand out as treats. And I'm going to play a scary game. Um, I just recently got, it just came out, as a matter of fact, recently, I believe. Amnesia Rebirth. I've played a bunch of Amnesia the Dark Descent, and I played a little bit of Amnesia A Machine for Pigs, but I have not seen more than the first few seconds of this game. I started it up just to make sure it would run on my computer and make sure I could actually, my character and do actions and stuff like that. That's about as far as I got. So I've seen the intro part and then a few seconds of the rest. So it will all be fresh for me, as fresh for me as it is for anybody. Um, but yes, to start with, oh my goodness, excuse me. Eek, it's Big Kevin. Yes, I'm in my just chatting mode. And I am going to be doing just reading soon in just a moment in a very blue shirt. Yes, it is a very blue shirt with sort of a flame pattern on it. I don't really have any scary kinds of shirts. Nothing, horror themed or Halloween themed. Um, this was about the best I could come up with. So, happy Halloween, I guess. Um, this, I don't know if I specifically mentioned this, but this is going to be a longer than normal stream instead of the 2 hour stream. It might, I haven't, made a firm decision about this, but it might be as long as, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours even. Um, but as I was saying, I am going to start out by reading The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So I hope everybody, whoever watches this, enjoys it. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak, weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "Is some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door? Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Yes, I am reading Zeal QT. I'm reading from The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at the chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at the window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. You read it in English class last year. It's kind of spooky. Yes, that is why I am reading it. It's a Halloween-themed stream for me. I'm going to be doing some readings and playing Amnesia Rebirth and doing some other Halloween-themed things. Once here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not an instant stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched upon my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Hello, Linky, how are you doing? Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy, for we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word did he outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by the reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters, its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whose unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking that this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining, that the lamplight gloated o'er, whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Good evening, seamstress. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by angels whose faint footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, O quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Yeah, you came a little late. You missed probably, I don't know, first 10 minutes? Okay, this next verse starts exactly the same as the previous verse. I was getting a little confused there. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest, and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Was The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, published in 1845. Yeah, you can. It'll be on the VOD. Hello, that's Zek. I hope everybody's having a great day today. I hope you are all staying safe and healthy. Cat's spooked yet. I don't think that's gonna happen, but who knows? Oh, Laurel, the front light is probably still on. You might want to turn that off before it gets to be time where somebody might think that means we're doing trick-or-treating. Doing physics homework while listening to stream. Cats are asleep on their heated cushions. As they often are. They seem to really like those cushions. Anyway, I thought I would get this off to a good start, and that seemed to be a very appropriate poem. It had been a long time since I read it. I didn't realize how strained some of the attempts at rhyming were in there. I probably didn't alter the words in the way to make it properly rhyme that the author intended, but I am going to go to my Be Right Back screen, and then I will be coming back with some Realm of the Mad God. So don't go away. I will be right back.